What's good, everybody? Welcome to Just Our Opinion Podcast. I'm Robin.
I'm Vaughn.
And thank you for kicking it with us tonight. So, check this out. First of all, I'm so excited y'all joined us tonight. I want to apologize. It's not quite 8 o'clock. Apparently, Mac decided it wanted to be Apple today. You know, it wanted to do what Apple products tend to do, and that means do their own thing tonight.
No, Windows usually do that on you. Automatic restarts when you didn't want to do it.
Well, it wasn't
That's what
even
it
just
did.
it wasn't even just the automatic restart. Like it was like automatic restart, and then like me and
It was an update on the software. And then you
yeah.
had to restart it because it wasn't recognizing the hardware you had attached.
Well, it was even worse because me and our producer was sitting there, and we like, okay, we've literally done everything we can do at this point. I don't understand why it's not registering the hardware.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, I was like, you know what? We're gonna just restart the computer. Like it was one of them like IT tricks. Like, you know what? Control Alt Delete. Unplug it. Unplug it and plug it back in. We're gonna unplug it and plug it back in. And literally it worked.
Okay.
Literally it worked.
Well, we're here.
But after
We're back.
45 minutes of fighting,
Yes.
it was like, okay, we're gonna unplug it and plug it back up, and it worked. So we apologize for being late tonight. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. However, we are here, and we have a fun show.
Yes, we do.
A fun show ahead of us tonight. We are gonna discuss some of those tough questions.
I don't know if they're tough, but they'll be definitely controversial and entertaining at the very least.
Well, because I feel like every relationship got tough questions, and so we're gonna discuss some of them tough questions that people don't normally discuss. You know, it's those ones that fly under
Hopefully-
the radar.
I don't know if they fly under the radar. Hopefully, you're just not that damn dysfunctional or dating anyone that dysfunctional. It ain't a fly under the radar type thing. These are ratchet questions.
Well, here's the thing.
I mean, but they are real life scenarios. They happen to people.
That's what I was gonna say. Unfortunately, these things happen.
I just hope all these questions don't apply to you.
Don't apply to me.
I mean, I'm talking about the audience. You know, anyone in the audience. Hopefully, all these questions do not apply to them.
Because I was about to say, I've had some ratchet relationships in my life.
I know.
So,
I know.
I'm sure that I'll have a few of these questions, and I'm like, "Ooh, yeah, I've been there." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, yeah. I unfortunately, I've been there.
Hopefully, it's maybe one or two cards and not like half the deck or 3/4 of the deck. I'm judgy tonight.
I see that. And I don't, you know what? I don't like the fact, judge your mama. Don't come for me, judge your mama. Because you're not going to sit here and act like you just ain't never did no ratchetries in your life.
You know how long I've been with Jesus? Yes, I'm bringing Jesus, my Lord and Savior, into this.
What you not going to do, sir? What you not going to do?
And to answer that question, at least 12 o'clock noon today.
What you not going to do is sit up here and act like I don't know your ratchet ass past. That's what you not going to do.
We're not talking about your bad influences on my previously good Christian life.
You know what? We're gonna get started. We're gonna get started with first round of the draft pick of the ratchet relationship questions that folk wanted to act like we wanted to discuss tonight. So the first question was: after years of having average sex, your significant other is all of a sudden does some new tricks in the bedroom.
Okay.
So you've been dating this person. And then all of a sudden, after you've been dating this person for quite some time and y'all been having just, you know, mediocre at best sex, right? All of a sudden, they bust out.
So it wasn't bad before.
It was mediocre at best.
It was okay.
It was mediocre at best. Right.
Okay.
All of a sudden, they break out some new spins, some new strokes, new tongue work, all that, right?
I'm spinning, so I got exposed to that recently. Never mind.
Do you question where they learn them from, or do you just enjoy them?
You know what? Definitely in the heat of the moment, I'm going to say I'm definitely enjoying them. Afterwards, I might be like, hey, that new thing you did, where'd you get that from? You know, but I will say, I mean, my assumption is easy it is to access. I mean, there's so many sex tutorials. I mean, legitimate ones as well as just outright porn. So I'm sure, you know, They probably picked it up there. Would be my thought.
See, the beef I have with saying porn is, don't nothing happen slow enough in porn for you to practice a step by step. You know what I'm saying? Like,
pause and rewind.
No.
See,
you got to remember. You got to remember. You're talking to somebody that does video editing. I know to cut clips in porn. Like, they don't do, ain't no doggone straight scenes in porn like that. Like, it's look, they cut clipping. So you're not gonna tell me that the porn lasted long enough for them to literally be studying the move. So don't tell me you learned that crap from porn, because it didn't happen. So you come out with a new spin or new tongue work or something, you're not gonna tell me you learned it from porn. Tell me something else. It wasn't porn. And y'all help me out in the comments. Yo mate come out with some new sex moves after they've been years of giving you mediocre at best sex. You gonna question where they got that from. I'm not gonna just automatically play dumb and assume like, oh, you must have been watching porn. You must have learned that from porn. No, you didn't. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Or maybe they were just holding back for you some reason.
They did what now?
They were just holding back on you. Maybe
for
they always
years.
knew how to do it.
So you purposely gave me bad sex for years?
It happens.
For years.
It's possible.
Why?
They might not have been that into you. I don't know.
Okay. If you're not into somebody enough to purposely give them bad sex.
No, you said mediocre, so we agreed it wasn't bad. It just wasn't really good.
Mediocre
amazing.
is bad.
I mean,
years of mediocre is bad. You can make that sound pretty and put a bow on it all you want, but mediocre is bad. Don't give me mediocre, D.
That's because you spoiled. But anyway.
Period. So you gonna run around and give me the mediocre, disinterested D? No, I'm straight on that. I don't want it. I'm good.
So now they stepped up and they decided to give you something better than mediocre. Why are you complaining?
Why? Where you get that from? Where you get that from?
I don't know. Name one of your favorite porn sites.
Excuse you? I don't have no favorite porn sites.
Oh, okay. So now I got a question about that new spin now.
I've always
had that spin. Now that we clarified that.
I've always had that spin.
Oh, see, that's my point. That's my point. Just decided to bust something out new. That's my point.
You wanna know when you got that spin? See, you gotta understand, for women it's different, okay? And ladies, y'all help me out. For women it's different. For us, first of all, let me be very clear. I was never giving you mediocre sex. Ever giving you mediocre sex. That's first and foremost. Second of all, for women it's different. You get a different level of freak out of us depending on the level of awesome husband you are, I guess is how I would put it. So, for example, you're talking about this spin that just came out, right? Mm-hmm. You're talking about this spin that just this spin that was just released, right? You should
probably give the background of the video you were watching.
What video?
The video you was watching you were watching it was a sex class video on Facebook someone had, remember?
Okay. So backstory. A friend of mine had posted this video on Facebook of this young lady that was teaching this class it was about 30 women in this class, and she was teaching these women how to ride the D. Mm-hmm. And the way she was teaching these women how to ride the D, when she wanted to switch from riding it to reverse cowgirl, she literally went to one side, got off of the D, turned around, got back on it, and started riding it. And I said, oh, that's bull. That's absolute bull. Who gets off of it to spin? And my husband looked at me and was like, wait, what? And I said, who gets off of the D to spin? That's crazy. Why would somebody get up and get off of it? You supposed to spin that boy like a top. You supposed to get up. You supposed to spin it around while you own it.
You said like a towel.
Like spin while you own it. So I whipped out the spin on him. But back to what I was saying, for women, we have different levels of freak that is exposed as your level of commitment or level of security or things like that are revealed.
Okay.
So, for example, you're talking about this spin that you just recently experienced, acquired, so to speak, right? What happened recently that upped your stock that made you, and you don't have to answer this publicly on our show, but think about what may have happened recently in our marriage that may have upped your stock that would have made me up my freak. Is all I'm saying.
All right. Well,
so as women, we have to keep some stuff in the bag a little bit. So we have something to bring out of the bag as y'all upgrade.
So for men, I'd say it's a couple of different things. Again, I think the relationship level, how serious you are with somebody, because if, let's say, you're not married, you're dating, or somewhere around dating and friends with benefits, it just may be mediocre at best. It may be just a,
you're just trying to get off.
Just to get off. That's it.
Okay.
There's also, again, men are, we visual, we see stuff or we hear about something, like, hey, you know what, I'm going to try that and see how that works. Like every guy.
The experimental D.
The experimental D, or, the tongue and the licking, alphabet, spell your name, whatever. Chinese alphabet.
That's a real thing?
I mean, yeah, you can do it.
I didn't know y'all really did. No, I know you can do it. I just didn't know y'all really did that. Like I knew a guy that was teaching his little brother. His little brother was asking how to eat out. And he made his brother for a week straight eat like applesauce cups and pudding cups and stuff like that without a spoon. Mm-hmm. And that was how he taught his little brother.
Okay, I see so much wrong with that doesn't really work out in the end for the woman, but nevertheless. I mean,
that was how he did
other
it.
than tongue strength and endurance, that's about it. I mean, that's probably important. Can come into play.
I mean, you got to think about it. Depending on what he eating out of that cup, like that could be some difficult stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Peanut butter.
That could hurt.
I mean, I'm just saying. I just feel like, and we won't get too far in this topic because I know we talked about it a few weeks ago, but there's just, there's a cadence, there's a rhythm, there's a pressure, right? There's a speed.
Right.
And it all varies with the woman to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And it also can vary with that woman depending on her mood and where she's at.
Okay.
So, anyway.
So the question is, you pull out a new trick in the bedroom.
I pulled a new trick out the other day.
And we've been married 10 years, so where you get it from?
I watched the video, something I picked up and started doing.
So
you were a little concerned that I did something previous.
So you had researched and okay, all right. So studying actually is something that you could do.
And no, there are legitimately, like, I used to subscribe to Men's Health, and they'd have all these little ads and stuff, and it'd be you get on the list, and now you're getting these marketing things, and they're more, they're like sex tutorial videos for women and for men, stuff like that. And they're, professionally done. They're not just porn, but they're, hey, this is what you need to do. And they, I mean, it's kind of funny when you think about it, because you got two people and you got an instructor there talking through what's happened and that kind of stuff.
It's like, turn this way.
Exactly.
She's going to bend over that way. Now, if you look, his leg is 12 degrees to the... You're like, wait, what? All righty. Okay. All right. Next question that we had. A person you love only kind of likes you. Could you have a friend with benefits relationship with this person? Like, now you love them. They only kind of like you. Can that relationship be a friends with benefits relationship? Why or why not? Like, what would you see the pros and cons in a friends with benefits relationship with that scenario?
So I would probably say yes. Like if you're in love with somebody and you know they like you, but you're in love with them, you know, you're unfortunately there's a good chance that yes, you may get your feelings hurt. However, being an optimist, maybe they will develop those feelings for you. And when you throw sex in there, usually sex, especially if you have good sex, I think that can endure someone to you, and their feelings will change and grow more. So my answer to that is, if you're in love with somebody and they only like you as a friend, but they're willing to be a friend with benefits, and you want them to be in love with you, I don't think you have too much to do. Go.
I think that's a recipe for disaster.
I mean, it could be. I'm not saying it's going to work.
I think that is a true recipe for disaster. I think that if you're in love with this person and they only like you, and y'all go into this friends with benefits thing, which means that there's no ties, there's no,
ties is just one way.
No, there's no ties. If we're just friends with benefits, you don't get to stop me from messing with nobody else. You don't get to stop me from dating anybody else. We're literally just sleeping together.
I guess my and maybe it's just different lifestyles previously, but so you can sleep with somebody on the regular who you don't really like that much, but you're out dating people and sleeping with the ones that you do like.
But here's the problem with being friends with benefits.
No, I'm just saying, how do you do that? That's what I'm asking. Because essentially, I'm thinking if you're friends with benefits with somebody, they like you they like you enough to have sex with you.
Not necessarily.
They may not be in love with you.
It's so cute that you think people gotta like the other person to sleep with them. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
I'm glad you ain't know me in my early 20s. All I had to do was want to sleep with you. I didn't have to like you. You leave my house when we done. I don't even want to talk to you. What? I'm just saying.
So I don't think that would apply to me, but nevertheless.
I mean, no, I kept you. So I liked you somewhat. But my thing about the friends with benefits, like one person is in love and the other person is in like, and then being friends with benefits, it's a recipe for disaster to me, because the person that's in love, that love is just going to become stronger. So you got one person, even if they do gain further feelings, they playing catch up, so to speak.
Yeah.
So the person that was already in love, they're going into this thing heart all in. Mm-hmm. Which means that they're going to end up with their feelings hurt quite a bit at the beginning of this, because this person that was only in like and it was truly in a friends with benefit situation is still living their life. They still doing their thing. Like, we're just friends and we're sleeping together. Where this other person has romanticized this whole relationship because now they're sleeping with this person that they in love with.
All I can say is, again, if that's the situation, most people, I mean, unless you expect it not to work out, deep down it'll never work out. But I guess, like I said, from my standpoint, being the optimist, thinking, okay, well, we can keep this up, and I still like her. I'm in love with her. Hopefully those feelings will change. But what I will say is, any relationship, technically, people usually aren't on the same level of like or love when they first meet. As the relationship grows, even, I'll say there can be different levels too.
Okay. So
you may not always be in unison at that level of quote unquote love. When we first started dating, they had the what was that, the Steve Harvey book with the 90-day rule about don't tell them you love somebody. Mm-hmm. Remember, that was our running joke. You ain't at day 90. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So,
like, no, wait your 90 days. Wait your 90 days. Yeah. All right. So while we're on the topic, it's interesting because we do have another question here that says, you asked your partner about the number of sex partners they've had, and their number is way higher than you expected. Would this change anything?
So I would say no, because they didn't lie to you about the number of partners to begin with. Number two, and this is probably, mature Vaughn, where I've probably been the last, 10, 15 years of my life versus, when I was in my teens and 20s, I wouldn't have dealt with anybody who had a high body count, or at least been in a serious relationship with them. I'll say that. I would, been more than happy to add to that body count, but not hang around. But, being more mature and understanding that at the end of the day, if you're in a relationship, that body count number should not bother you or matter, because they're not sleeping with those people anymore. They're with you as long as they can be committed. They're honoring what they said they will do, what they did in the past, or whoever they slept with, because they could have had, unfortunately, as it is now, people are more likely to, I hate to sound old, but I am, but people date, people go on first dates and they're romantic off rip, and they're having sex from day one, and then they break up in a month, and guess what? You find somebody else you date, and you're having sex with them.
You got 12 sex partners?
I mean, it can happen.
A year? 12 a year.
Maybe your relationships last 6 months, and you go from 20 to 30. You still picked up 10, 20 partners. So,
now, and that's wild. Like, and when you think about it that way, like, let's say you've had 2 sex partners a year from 18 to 28.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You've had 20 sex partners.
You've still had 20 partners.
Yeah. So my point being is, now it's different versus, let's say, I'll just take a random number of, 67, and 40 of them got picked up last week. Now you need to pump your brakes. I'm just saying. So, to me, like I said, I think the body count thing doesn't really matter as long as that person can be in a committed relationship that you want. All right, I won't even say committed, because, I'm big on monogamy. I'm big on being in a relationship. That's why I'm still married. However, I know some people aren't, but whatever your expectations are in that relationship, if it is monogamous, and hopefully it is, then that's where the body count thing matters. I mean, to be quite honest with you, if you would have an open relationship, would it really matter?
This is true.
So I think the only reason a body count would matter is someone who looks to be in a monogamous relationship, and probably even more importantly, marriage at the end of the day. So, like I said, to me, the body count number doesn't matter. As long as that mug doesn't go up after I've been with you, I don't care.
I think that's it for me too. Like, I don't care really how many people you've slept with. Like, I care about whether I'm the last person you slept with.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I need to be the last. Like, anybody before me, it's a wash at that point. Yeah. I remember when we got married, I made a Facebook post, and I was kind of taking some shots at people. But what I said is, my husband puts God and family first. Anybody that comes behind me is irrelevant. If you know, you know.
So let me ask you this as a part 2 to that question. So generally, men cannot accept a woman with a high body count. Mm-hmm. They have questions. They have issues. For women, is there a limit on a body count? A woman would be like, nah, that's too many. I can't mess with you.
No, there's a minimum.
There's a minimum?
Yeah, ain't no dude that ain't never dove in it putting his hands on me.
What's your minimum?
You gotta be done at least disappointed 3 to 4 women before I let you even attempt to disappoint me. Like,
I done made the cutoff.
Cause I'm not gonna be your experiment. You know what I'm saying? I'm not teaching you nothing. You are grown as hell. Learn it before you get to me.
I will say, at my age now, if you were to pass, I had to go date or, find somebody, get married. Probably someone who had never done it before would not be that appealing to me. I mean,
because who got that type of time? First of all, I'd feel dirty. Do you know how much of I don't care if this man was 50 years old and was the 50-year-old virgin. I would still feel so dirty having sex with a virgin. I would feel dirty. Like, I would feel like I was taking every bit of virtue from this man. Like,
hey, as long as it's the wedding night, who cares?
No, I don't care. I would feel like I would, because here's the thing. Here's the kicker. He about to become a stalker. This gotta work. We gotta be together forever. Because I hit a virgin. Period. It's done. He in my bushes and camo with a flashlight in the daytime. This motherfucker is out here with binoculars in my bushes if I hit a virgin. Because the things I'm going to do to that grown man.
And so the things you think you're going to do, because one, if they're really a virgin, they probably don't have much stamina. So you got that issue to deal with.
See, no. See, that's where you see, again, that's how I know he going to be in my bushes. Just because he don't have stamina don't mean that I'm going to let him quit after he come the first time. Because, again, I've been at this a while.
So what you gonna give him a drink laced with
Sir,
Cialis and Viagra?
I am drugging this kid.
Okay.
I'm drugging him.
See, and the flip side for a guy though,
I'm gonna be like, here, eat this gummy.
There is, yeah. The more I think about it, there's, if you've had sex before, and let's say you're 35 plus. And you meet somebody and you get married and they're a virgin, and I just there'd be, because there a lot of what we have in a lot of sex is physical activity, it's exercise, it's muscles you have to be used to using. So I could see how that could just like not be as much fun potentially, because they haven't used certain muscles, they can't do some stuff.
Listen. When I tell you that
they
grown man,
gotta get up off the D and turn around to get back on it.
When I tell you that grown man gonna be at my job, sitting in his car, ducked down in his seat if I hit a virgin, I don't need. It's certain things that I just don't need in my life.
Okay.
So if something ever happened to you, virgins are immediately off the list. I don't care how old they are. I don't care. They off the list. I don't need that stress in my life, because I can promise you, I'm about to turn you out.
But what if he's like really, really rich?
Now I got a rich man with resources stalking me? Sir.
You don't have to let him stalk you. You could just marry him.
Sir.
You can marry with him and be with him forever.
I'm about to get stalked by resources?
And he could easily pay for that cocktail stuff you're going to give him.
Sir, listen to me. Listen to me. A rich man is going to now lock me in his basement and hire security to make sure I can't get outside. That's even more problems.
I'm sure he'd let you out periodically, at least 3 times a day.
The things that the problems a virgin would cause me, I don't need them.
In your mind, everything's going right, but I could also think of how things could just go so left with that too. So
I don't need them. I'm straight.
All
right. You suspect your best friend. You suspect your best friend's mate of cheating, but you have no concrete proof. Do you tell your best friend?
I'm going to go with the no, because you don't have any concrete proof, and you don't want to be the person to falsely accuse them and potentially lose, both relationships, your friend and your mate, as
Check
a friend
this out.
as well.
My answer is no, even if I got proof.
Okay. And why do you say no, even if you got proof?
And what's funny is, if you'd have asked me this question 2 years ago, it would have been completely different.
Okay.
My answer 2 years ago would have been completely different. However, over the last 2 years of my life, I've seen so many things. Just over the last 2 years of my life, I've seen so many things. So even if I had concrete proof that my best friend's husband, or if my best friend is a woman, his wife, if my best friend is a guy, his wife was cheating, I would not say a word. I would probably try to set up a scenario where they would catch them themselves. but I would not be the person to tell my best friend, hey, your husband is having an affair. And my reason for not being that person is because there's a few reasons. First of all, marriages can heal through anything.
Yeah.
Anything. Because me telling you that your husband is cheating is not me telling you to leave your husband. First of all, that's something I would never do. I'm not telling anybody to leave their husband or their wife. I don't care what the problem is. I don't care what the situation is. I have a strong feeling about that.
Even if they keep them locked up in the basement?
Even if they keep them locked up in the basement. Y'all need therapy, but I can't tell you to leave. Because that's not my business. That's you getting in God's business now, and that ain't on me. So I can't, because I can't tell you to leave him, and I'm not going to tell you to leave him. I'm not going to be the person to tell you he's cheating, because I know that marriages can heal. And if I'm the one that blast out your husband for cheating, and then y'all marriage heal, I just lost my best friend anyway.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be the flip side.
Your husband hates me now.
Well, I mean, he may or may not, because let's say the marriage is better, because a lot of times.
I don't care how much better it is. He hates me now.
Well, I mean, he may not. He may be like, hey, if you didn't bust
your
on
bitch
me,
ass friend Robin just be in my business.
Or he may be like, save my marriage. See?
Ain't nobody that mature.
They only gonna be salty if they're not for real in it, or they still
That's
out
bull.
there doing it.
Ain't nobody that mature.
It's plenty of people that mature.
I ain't.
Oh.
I ain't. Listen, I don't care if I was the most repentant person ever. If you was the person that snitched on me, you have made my enemies list for the rest of my life.
So let me ask you this. Here's the flip side of that question. Would you want your best friend to tell you your spouse is cheating on you?
I don't have no best friend.
Hypothetically. If would you want your best friend, or your friend period, any of your friends that you have or in real life or don't have, just hypothetically you have for this question, would you want them to tell you your spouse is cheating?
Nope.
And why not?
Nope. Don't tell me.
Why not?
I would want them to do the same thing I would do for them. Set up a scenario where I could find out myself. Like, let me tell you how I would tell my best friend that their husband was cheating. I would take pictures. And then old school, go get them boys printed at CVS.
And mail them. And honestly drop them off in the
you know what I'm saying?
Under the apartment door.
You know what I'm saying? Create a fake email address and send them to her via email. Like, I would remove myself. Like, she would find out he was cheating. But I would not directly tell her he was cheating. She don't know. She gonna find out.
I was gonna say, let's go back to the root of the question then. Would you tell them or not? How you tell them is different. But would you tell them?
Oh, I'll tell her.
Okay.
I tell her. I'm not telling her.
Now the question.
But I tell her.
Now, would you want that same treatment from your friends if they knew your husband was cheating?
Yes.
Would you just want them to anonymously let you know, or you want them to be like, hey, Robin, you know that nigga ain't shit.
Anonymously let me know.
You want to know anonymously?
Anonymously let me know.
But I do get the concept and the concern that if they do reconcile and they stay together, that spouse could be potentially mad at you, for snitching on them.
Check this out.
So I get that.
Check this out. Do you know, over the last 10 to 15 years of my life, how many people's secrets that I'm holding? That's why it baffles me how people have a tendency to talk sideways to me and to, get cocky enough to get disrespectful with me and stuff like that. Because it'd be like, have you forgotten what I know about you? And the secrets of yours that I'm holding? People really need to just thank God Almighty that I'm just not petty. Not on that level. Like, if I said I was gonna hold your secret, I'm gonna hold your secret. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not that person. But I think that people should really be blessed that I'm not that person. Because I could just walk around ending marriages right now. I could literally, and I'm talking people that have attempted to end mine.
Okay.
I could literally be like, oh, since we ended marriages, since that's what we doing, let me go tell your husband where your mouth been. Since we ended marriages, since we want to talk, since we want to have conversations with people's husbands. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not that person. If I was, though.
I don't think you're that far from not being that person.
If I was, though. Next question. You ask your mate if they still love their ex and they say yes. What happens next? What do you do?
You know what? That would be a shocking and hurtful thing to find out. I'm of the personal belief that okay, we talk about the different types of love, right? And this is essentially probably more of what's considered the Eros love, more of a romantic love. And I'm not in belief that you can really love two people.
I don't agree with that.
So that will cause some concerns for me, because it'd be like, well, she don't love me, or does she love me more, and does she still love him a lot?
Okay.
That causes a lot of questions and concerns.
See,
and I would probably say, I don't know if I've necessarily been in that, but I can probably say I felt like that before in a relationship. So, it would definitely cause some insecurities.
Okay. For me, first of all, I want to address that love two people thing. You can love two people. You could definitely be in love with two people. I believe that. I truly do. I've always believed that. I think people have a tendency to really close in love.
Mm-hmm.
I think people have a tendency to really put love in a box. And love is kind of the one thing that we have in this life that is truly, truly unlimited.
But I think there are different types of love, and that's my thing. So, like, you talk about brotherly love, then you have the romantic Eros love. The Philo is the brotherly love, and then taking it to church, you have the agape love, the love of God, right? But my thought is, in terms of when it comes to romance, or when we traditionally say I love somebody, I don't believe that you definitely can't love two people the same. You got to love one more and one less if that's the situation. And I really don't think that the other person who has the lesser love will say is really loved. It's just more of extreme like or infatuation. Or
see, I don't think there necessarily has to be a lesser love either. Like, I really think that people box in love. I really feel that love is, like I said, the one thing that can be expanded. It's the one thing that we can always make more of. It can always be shared. It can always be expanded. It can always be.
Well, I mean, you can have plenty of kids and love all your kids. I'm just talking about
and love them the same.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that type of love. That's a family love. I'm talking about a husband-wife love, long-term relationship love. That's what I'm saying. I don't believe you can have that type of love. I'm terming it Eros or romantic love, for two people truly. I don't think you can do that. You clearly love one person. The other one, you may like a lot, you may lust a lot, but you don't necessarily love them, per se. That, or you don't love either.
So, back to the question. Your husband, wife, you ask them if they still love their ex and they tell you yes. What happens next? What do you do? Like, where do you go from here, right?
I don't know. I guess, that would probably be some other questions you'd have to ask them. Like, you want to get back with them? Why are you with me? Those type of questions would have to be answered.
So with you just talking about all the different types of love, do you even ask what type of love are we discussing here?
No, because if you tell me you're still in love with your ex, I'm not thinking brotherly love or family love. I'm thinking romantic, you know.
Why can't it
love.
be that I love them enough to not want them hurt? Why can't it be that I love this person enough to want to see them well? Like,
because how about I start telling you all the people I love then by those definitions?
you better just have the love of Christ.
Exactly. Why can't it be the love that I want to see them well? The love I don't want to see them hurt. And I just say, I love so-and-so. I love so-and-so.
Okay, Ron.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's going back. I'm gonna get you back on my playing field here. There's only one type of love we're talking about that you can't have split. And if that's what you're saying, that's what you're saying. But I don't think you can truly love two people like that. One person you may truly love like that. The other person you like a lot and you lost a lot.
So I guess for me, the what happens next. I want to say, I really want to be very mature and say that I'm evolved and, you know, I'm, you know, in therapy regularly and I'm a better person than I used to be and I'm growing every day and I can deal with this. I can be mature. I can.
Shout out to Michelle though. She agreed with me.
You know, I can,
Any comments?
I wanna be able to be like, you know, I'm so evolved. I'm this great person, right? And
We know you.
that's what I want to sit here and say. Like, I'm trying
You're
so
striving for
hard. I'm trying so hard to sit here and say that. However, the truth is, the honest to goodness truth is, if I looked at you right now and asked you, are you, you know, do you still love your ex? And you tell me yes. And the question that we had was, you know, what's next? What happens now? There'll probably be some police called eventually.
I gotta catch an iPad with my teeth and nose.
Like, it's gonna probably be, it'll likely make the news. I hope she love you too, because you about to be living there. Like, I hope it's a whole relationship in there somewhere. You know, like, I'd like to say I'm evolved and I'm mature, but I'm not. It's a lie. It's a lie.
Now, how about this? Let's say you don't ask the question, but your spouse talks about how much they love someone so much, like all the time. All the stuff they used to do, you know, oh, so in love with so-and-so, and oh, I remember those days, you know. How do you take that? How do you react to that? Is it the same thing, police getting called?
How long y'all been together?
3 months, 6 months, a year, I don't know.
Well, and the reason I ask is there's layers to a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have people that will use situations with their exes as an example of how they want to be treated currently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, however, you got to be careful with that. You know, you don't want to make your current mate feel like they're always trying to live up to your ex. Hell, if you love that motherfucker so much, go be with them.
And I think that's part of the issue someone's going to feel when you know, to the original question about your ex tells you your spouse tells you they're still in love with their ex.
Right.
That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Like, you love that motherfucker so much, go be with them.
Yeah, it's just a difference of, you know, how is it communicated to you, you know, bluntly or just through, you know, conversation over a point in time, and, you know, they just reminisce about how much they used to love that person, you know.
I dig it. All right. We got maybe time for a couple more of these. Your significant other tells you that they were as close as possible to physically cheating, but then they thought about you and they brought their ass home.
We had this question already, I thought.
What's
It
the
was more
first thing
similar
you
like
say
that.
to them? Like, what do you do? Like, they was as close as possible. Like, condom was on.
See, now, see, that's. I mean, I'd be furious. I'd be like, you need to go back to where the fuck you were. Go back to where the fuck you were. I'm just gonna say it like I was gonna say it. Because, I mean, at that point, if you're naked, you got the condom on, that means you were doing other stuff anyway. You was kissing, you was rubbing, you was touching, you was licking. So you basically did everything except for actually have intercourse at that point. It's still, I mean, it's not like, for the only way that scenario would be acceptable would be I left the house, I met him at the bar, I thought about you, and I came home. That's different as opposed to I got to their house, we were in their house, and I stopped midway or whatever and came home. That's completely,
Yeah, see,
that's
the
two
question
different-
specifically says as close as possible.
Yeah, I mean,
So the condom was on.
well, see, no, but realistically, you know, it was by your definition of infidelity, for that condom to be on, you'd already cheated, right? And we talking about physical contact, what occurred for that condom to get on.
Oh, y'all been kissing and touching and rubbing and sucking and all kind of stuff.
Exactly. It's no different than same scenario. You leave the house, you go to the bar, you meet somebody, and you make out with them in the parking lot.
You cheated.
You cheated.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. So I guess the reaction that I would have would be the same at the different levels.
So, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, the question is, what do you consider cheating then, right? So if they say I came as close as possible to physically cheating, and our definition of cheating is anything physical, period, then that means they were talking at the bar, they were kikiing at the bar,
Yeah.
they walked out of the bar and was about to start the kissing process, and then I thought about you and came home.
Okay. I mean, that I can deal with. We can probably work through. You know, still got some concerns and issues about how the fuck you got to the bar and who this person was for you to do that.
How the fuck they got to the bar?
Exactly.
I drove, obviously.
No, I mean with that person, like, you know, most likely is somebody you've been talking to for a minute. Period. Hopefully, you're just not out at the bar getting picked up, about to bang somebody, and then be like, oh wait, I'm in a relationship.
I was having a Voyager night.
You know, you said a what?
I was having a Voyager night. It was, hey, shit happens. Had one too many drinks. Listen, Jamie Foxx wrote a whole song about it. He ended up at the embassy. Wrote a whole song about it. Had one too many drinks. He was throwing them back. They was dancing. He woke up next to a chick he ain't even know who the hell she was. Hell, R. Kelly woke up in a closet with a chick he ain't even know her name. From drinking. Shit happens, okay? Shit happens. I'm just saying. Shit happens. Stranger things, man. Stranger things. Stranger things. Michelle, nobody asked you about being on Vaughn's side on this one too. Okay? Stay off his side. Okay. Text message reads, I had an amazing time yesterday. And it flashes across your mate's phone. They say it's from a cousin you've never met. What do you say?
Just got a lot of questions like, where were you yesterday? What did you do? Who's this cousin? You know, let's call them. Let's have a family reunion. Bring them over. Bring them out.
First of all, I got a lot of cousins, right?
Oh, I do too.
I had an amazing time yesterday. Has never been a text I've ever received from any cousin.
I was gonna say, yes, that will cause some issues.
You know what I'm saying? I had an amazing time yesterday from your cousin. I had an amazing time yesterday.
My female cousin.
What's the state that was arguing in the Senate about legalizing first cousin marriages? Was it Tennessee this past
wow.
week?
Yeah,
I believe it was Tennessee this past
Wow.
week. Arguing about legalizing first cousin marriages. Yeah, that's where I see that happening at. Because I ain't never in life got a text from any of my cousins after hanging out talking about I had an amazing time yesterday. That ain't even wording that family members use with each other.
I completely agree.
I've never texted my girls talking about I had an amazing time yesterday.
And I have a cousin. She doesn't live here in Michigan anymore. Her and her husband live in Maryland. But when I crossed, and she was an AKA, when she came home that summer, she hung out with me the whole time. I think I was a Neo too. So she would always come with me to all the bros picnics and stuff like that. You know, bros would call me and be like, hey, when's your cousin coming back? You know, but, you know, I'd take her out. You know, if I went out of town, if I went, you know, downtown and hung out, she came with me, and, you know, I paid for everything for her and you know, and we hung out.
Did she
like
text you and
that.
said, I had an amazing time?
Not once. Never. That's my point.
I had an amazing time. I'm just saying, I've never.
And I've taken, Monique and Ashley, you met them, and they've hung out with me before and paid for everything and took care of them, and they had fun, you know, hanging out, talking about friends and, you know, their people. So never got an amazing text from them.
I had an amazing time.
Never.
I had an amazing time. Hey, I had an amazing
So
time.
yeah, that would have questions for me.
Hey, I had an amazing time yesterday.
I guess my other question is, what if that cousin's name's not in the phone? It's just a number.
Hey.
That adds another level of question to that text.
Hey, I had an amazing time yesterday. An amazing time yesterday.
I feel like I should have sent that at lunchtime yesterday.
Hey, I had an amazing time yesterday. I'm every time I say it, like every time I say it, it gets worse. You know what I'm saying? Like every time. Hey, I had an amazing time yesterday.
Some guy be like, hey, I had an amazing time yesterday.
Hey, I had an amazing time yesterday. Hey, I had an amazing time. Nah, man, my cousin is not sending that. That sounds sexual as hell. It's so sad how that one sentence sounds sexual as hell. Hey, I had an amazing time. Yeah, no, there's no way you can say that without it sounding sexual.
So does it make it better or worse if there's a name associated with that number?
I don't care.
Or there's just a number?
I don't care. I had an amazing time yesterday. I can't even imagine picking up your phone. I would read that sexually. I had an amazing time yesterday. Like, you know, like I keep saying it. Like, I would read that. I had an amazing time yesterday. Like, that's how I would I had an amazing time yesterday. Like, that's how I would read that shit. Like, I'm just, nah, everybody die. I'm reverse searching telephone numbers and shit now. I did that once.
Reverse search?
Reverse search the telephone number, found out where the person lived, and rolled up to their crib. I did that once. Held her hostage at her. Never mind. I don't know what the statute of limitation is on that.
I'll say probably 25 years for
I
you.
don't know what the statute of limitation is on that. All right, next. So a guy says that if his wife expects him to pay all the bills, he expects sex regularly, even if she's not in the mood. His reason is that sometimes he's not in the mood to pay the bills. Is he out of line?
I don't think he's unreasonable to expect and ask sex when he wants. I think maybe I wouldn't necessarily agree with the approach per se. I mean, again, I can't think of any time. I'm really happy to. Hey, I'm not worried about it.
Be careful.
Though I can't think of any time I've been happy to, you know. I'm glad I have the money to pay my bills. I'll say that, but I'm not happy about watching my money go to those bills and be paid. So
well, that was the point. You know, I don't feel like paying the bills either, but I still pay them. So I don't care about you not feeling like giving me none. You better toot that ass up. You know what I'm saying? Like, feel like it or not, this is your job. This is your responsibility. It's my responsibility to pay them bills, whether I feel like it or not. So it's your responsibility to bend that ass over, whether you feel like it or not. That's all he was saying.
I mean, I feel it, and you know, I agree with that. At the end of the day, I do.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like,
so
if I'm paying all the bills, hell, if I'm just paying, we'll say 75%.
No,
85.
Back that ass up.
My expectation, hell, I'm gonna make it easy. I'm gonna make it real easy. let's just say we going 50-50 or better.
You full of shit. You full of shit. If I'm going 50-50, I kiss my whole ass. That mean I gotta all the way go to work. Nah, dog. Nah. No, sir.
No, here's
No,
how it
sir.
works.
No,
Based
sir.
on the percentage split is how often she should agree to that text. 50-50, you got a 1 in 2 chance. If he paying all the bills, he's got it every time. There we go.
Really?
Fair enough. We're going to go proportional, distribution.
Man, listen here. Listen here. If I gotta go 50-50, you gonna get that shit when I feel like it. Seriously. Cause that 50-50 shit is outrageous to me. That shit is outrageous to me. So if I got to go 50-50, you gonna get the nanny when I damn real feel like it. Because I hold just as much weight in this house as you do at that point, sir. Because the only reason that I can even phantom that you got me going 50-50 is because you can't afford to live in this bitch without me. So, with that being said, sit your non-cocky ass down and you get it when I feel like it. Because if you could afford to be the boss of this motherfucker, you would be.
So let me ask you this. You're working. You have a live-at-home husband. Do you expect it because you're paying all the bills, do you expect it whenever you ask for it?
Yes.
Even if he's tired?
And it better be hard. On command. That nigga better take Viagra every morning just in case I want it.
I don't think that's how that works.
He better have a D on standby if I'm paying all the bills.
I don't think that's
Cause you mean to tell me, you mean to tell me.
Hold on. Cause see, remember when we met, I wanted you to go to law school so you could be my retirement plan.
Sir, and I'm telling you that your heart would explode from the amount of Viagra you'd have to take if I'm going to work every day and you sitting your ass at home and I'm paying all the bills. You know how I'd be like if you have an erection more than 3 hours.
Go see a doctor.
We just gonna make that nigga move in because you gonna be dead.
But so back to the question though, I definitely agree with that statement. Now the difference, I will say, let's get into the details. Do you want it if it's going to be disinterested? If it's going to be mediocre? That's the question.
Here's the thing.
And that's that fine line that, has to be worked out.
Here's the thing. First of all, I don't feel like any woman owes anybody her pussy. I don't owe you shit. That's just real. I don't owe you my pussy. Now, yeah, you could stop paying the bills, but shit, you live here too. Stop paying them. You live here too, sir. Now, it's up to you whether you go make her pay half at that point, and okay, fine. But I think the better idea would be to make her want to fuck you every day. So I think you should go back to your original. His approach is wrong. Mm-hmm. I think if he wasn't running around here acting like you owe me your coochie because I'm paying all the bills, and he put a little more effort into being the king of his castle, mm-hmm. as opposed to I'm paying the bill so you owe me your pussy, he might get it as much as he wants and in abundance.
Well,
Stop me when I lie.
Well, I agree with the statement, but so to my point, I guess if it's disinterested and let's say she gives in, she don't want to do it, and it shows up, I think again that would hopefully make him change his approach too.
No, it won't, because if he came in that boy talking about some, you gonna give it to me when you gonna give it to me, even if you don't feel like it, shit, I don't be feeling like paying the bills, but I do it anyway. He came in that boy wrong.
I mean, he came in
That's
wrong,
a mindset.
But I'm just saying.
That's a mindset.
But again, I'm saying over the course of time, let's say she says, okay, I ain't arguing with you. You can get it. 3 months, 6 months down the road, he realizing it's not the star-studded spectacular he used to get. he's gonna change. Something's gonna happen.
No, he not. He gonna start cheating because of the mindset he came in with. Because he came in with the, you need me, I don't need you. I'm running this.
No, I think I mean the mindset could be a variety of different things. It doesn't necessarily have to be that negative. I will say any mindset to put that out there like that is a negative mindset, but it doesn't, but there are different levels of it. I think, to your point, if he's like, oh, well, I do this, I don't need you, you're going to give it to me whenever I ask for it. That's a really bad mindset to have. But, if it's an issue of, maybe before it was, I'm tired, I got to go to work like you, and I come home and do X, Y, and Z. All right, you know what? You ain't got to go to work. I'll take care of the bills. That's a little different.
I dig it. All right. Well, we do have quite a few more of these. So we can continue with these.
I'm game. I'm
next
good.
Friday.
Oh, I was talking about tonight. Threaten me with a good time.
I got stuff to do tonight.
What you got to do?
I'm busy.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
You going to give your cousin an amazing time?
Amazing time. I had an amazing time tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Vaughn, I had an amazing time tonight.
Glad you did.
Thank y'all for kicking it with us tonight. Again, we are so sorry for the delay. So sorry for the delay. But hopefully we will be on time next Friday because, hopefully Mac won't act crazy on us next week.
Yep. And maybe we'll get a few shorts or something out there too.
Yeah, hopefully we can get that done this week.
At least one or two.
We've been talking about that. We need to get that done this week.
At least one or two.
We really need to get that done this week. We've been slacking.
All right, let's do it.
All right, we're going to get that done this week. All right, look out for some shorts this week on some different relationship topics. And we'll see y'all again next Friday, 8 o'clock. Peace out.
Deuces.